Hello guys, myself Ashok Bagda from Dr. Subhash Technical Campus, and today we are going to discuss about balancing of several masses rotating in a single plane. So let us start. First of all, let us understand what is balancing. So balancing is defined as the process of designing a machine in which unbalanced force is minimum. That means if we consider any machine, and if a machine having minimum or a no unbalanced force, then we can say that our machine is in complete balance. In another way, we can say that balancing is the process of eliminating or correcting the effect of resultant inertia forces and couples acting on the machine part. So in a balancing, we are going to eliminate or correct the effect of resultant unbalanced forces and couple. Now let us understand two things. First one is a here we consider four masses. So masses in a same plane. That means four masses in a same plane. So here we consider one shaft. On this shaft there are M1, M2, M3 and M4. These four masses are rotating at some radius and at some angular position. So these four masses are rotating in a single plane. These four masses are rotating in a single plane. So if we draw the front view from this side for this configuration, then we see all masses are in a single plane. Now if we see from that side and we draw, we consider this OX, this line is a horizontal line and this point is O. So if we consider OX is a horizontal reference line, and by considering this reference line, if we draw a left hand side view, then we obtain such kind of configuration. That is nothing but that is a angular position or a space diagram for the masses. So in a left hand side view, you can see clearly the M1 mass which is making an angle theta 1, this M2 mass which is making an angle theta 2 with OX, similarly theta 3 and theta 4. So these are the angular positions of four masses. Now second condition, four masses in different plane. Four masses in different planes. So here you can clearly see that the M1 mass is rotating in one plane. This M2 mass, it is also rotating in another plane. This M3 mass, it is rotating in another plane, and this M4 mass, it is also rotating in another plane. So there are two conditions. First one is several masses rotating in same plane, and second condition is several masses rotating in different plane. But in today's lecture we are going to discuss about only several masses, that means four masses. We consider four masses rotating in a same plane. So let us consider four masses as shown in figure. So this is a left hand side view. We can say that for the masses, this is the center O, is a shaft. It is a neutral axis of shaft. This is a reference. OX is a horizontal reference line. Okay, now let us consider four masses having magnitude M1, M2, M3 and M4 rotating at a distances of R1, R2, R3 and R4 from the shaft as shown in figure. Now let us consider the four masses M1, M2, M3 and M4 which are making an angle of theta 1, theta 2, theta 3 and theta 4 with the horizontal line OX as shown in figure. Now we can see that because of rotation, the M1 mass is rotating with omega angular speed. So these four masses are rotating with the same angular speed omega because four masses are attached on the same shaft. So the mass M1 is rotating with omega radian per second. That means omega angular speed. So some centrifugal force is generated in this direction. It is Fc1. Same way, some centrifugal force generated in this direction, radially outward direction, it is Fc2. Similarly, for masses M3, some centrifugal force FC3 is generated in this direction, and same way some forces, that means centrifugal force, generated in this direction. Now this is the clear in this figure. We can clearly say that these four masses are concurrent forces. Because of these four masses, there are four centrifugal forces are developed, and these four centrifugal forces, FC1, FC2, FC3, and FC4, are concurrent forces and also coplanar forces, because these four masses are in same plane and four masses intersect at a single point. So these centrifugal forces are concurrent coplanar forces. Now let us understand. Let us consider this. Because of these four masses, our system is in unbalance. So first of all, we calculate the resultant centrifugal force. Okay, then we apply the balance mass in opposite direction, balancing force in opposite direction to the resultant force, and we eliminate this unbalanced resultant force by applying balancing force in this direction. So the magnitude, that means we can balance the system by two methods. First is an analytical method and second is a graphical method. So let us discuss. First one is analytical method. So we know that centrifugal force is m omega square r. So here m is mass, omega is the angular speed of shaft, and r is the distance of masses from neutral axis. Now here omega square is same for all masses, because if we calculate FC1, then M1 omega square R1. If we consider FC2, then M2 omega square R2. So omega square is same for all masses, and the magnitude of centrifugal force for each mass is proportional to the, so magnitude FC is, we can say that it is directly proportional to the M. It is a product of M and R. So it is proportional to the product of mass and radius of rotation. So in an analysis of centrifugal force, we consider centrifugal force is m into r. So we consider centrifugal force in kg into meter. Now let us calculate centrifugal forces for four masses. So first of all, in the first column we consider mass in kg. So we have four masses, m1, m2, m3 and m4. In the second column, we consider radius in meter, and we consider notation for this radius is small r. So it is r1 for first mass, r2 for second mass, r3 for third mass, and r4 for fourth mass. So if we calculate centrifugal force in kg into meter, that means m into r, then we obtain the value m1 r1, m2 r2, m3 r3, m4 r2. So we have four centrifugal forces, fc1, fc2, fc3, and fc4. So these are the centrifugal forces. Now let us, so we can calculate the resultant unbalanced force by using a polygon method. Okay, so first of all we resolve horizontal component of forces. So here we resolve horizontal component. So sigma FCH, that means it is a summation of all horizontal component of centrifugal forces. So we know that first centrifugal force is m1 r1, and because of horizontal component, here we are adding horizontal component, so that's why we consider cos theta 1. So m1 r1 cos theta 1 plus m2 r2 cos theta 2 plus m3 r3 cos theta 3 plus m4 r4 cos theta 4. Similarly, we resolve vertical component. So sigma FCV is equal to m1 r1 sin theta 1 plus m2 r2 sin theta 2 plus m3 r3 sin theta 3 plus m4 r4 sin theta 4. So we can calculate resultant centrifugal force FCR. So we know that if we have horizontal component and if we have vertical components, then we obtain the resultant centrifugal force by using this equation under root sigma FCS square plus sigma FCV square. And we can calculate also the position of this resultant force with the reference line is a tan theta r is equal to vertical component upon horizontal component. So we obtain the position and magnitude. From this equation we obtain magnitude of resultant centrifugal force, and from this angle we obtain angular position. So we know the angular position and magnitude of resultant unbalanced force. So we directly add the balance mass at in opposite direction to the resultant force. That means we apply a balancing force having same magnitude as the FCR and in opposite direction to the theta r. That means the balancing mass we add at an angle theta b is equal to theta r plus 180 degree, and magnitude of balancing mass is also FCR. So if we consider FCR is equal to MBRP, so here we consider FCR is equal to MBRB. If we fix the RB, then we can calculate MB. Then we can calculate balancing mass. Now second method. So second method, it is graphical method. So in a graphical method, so this is based on polygon method. So if our system is in complete balance and then we draw a polygon, then we obtain closed polygon. If our system is not in complete balance and if we draw a polygon, then we get an open polygon. Now the closing side of this polygon is nothing but it is a balancing mass. It is a balancing force. Okay. So to draw a force polygon, we have to select some specific scale. So here our centrifugal force is here. The centrifugal forces are in kg into meter. Suppose M1R1, the multiplication of M1R1 is 5 kg into meter. Suppose we consider the multiplication of M1R1 is 5 kg. Suppose the multiplication of, so here we consider 5 kg. So we have to consider here 5 kg into meter is equal to, we have to, okay, we consider not 5. So suppose M1R1 is 5. So we consider 1 kg into meter. 1 kg into meter. So we consider 1 kg into meter is equal to 10 mm. Suppose if we consider 1 kg into meter is equal to 10 mm, then if we consider here 1 kg into meter is equal to 10 mm. So convert all the centrifugal forces in mm. So let us start. First of all, let us consider A is the initial condition. So from the, okay, from this figure we can say that the FC1, which is making an angle theta, so FC1, it is a centrifugal force because of mass m1, so having some magnitude is FC1 and angular position is theta1. So here we draw a FC1 line in mm which make an angle theta degree with horizontal, theta 1 degree with horizontal. Similarly, here we draw from this line from the endpoint B with a reference of horizontal line. Okay. So from this line, from where consider theta 2, it is theta 2. So draw FC2 line. So FC2 having some length mm in mm. So draw FC2 BC line. So draw BC line. Draw BC line. So again, draw AB line, makes an angle theta 1 with horizontal line. Then similarly, draw BC line which make an angle theta 2 with the horizontal line. Similarly, draw CD line which make an angle theta 3 with horizontal, and similarly draw DE line. Draw a DE line which make an angle theta 4 with the horizontal, and the closing side then finally measure EO. So here we can say that measure EO. So here we obtain FCB, that means balance centrifugal force. So FCO is equal to, here we have to measure not DO but it is EO. So measure EO line in mm into multiply with scale. Okay, so we obtain some value is equal to write MBRB. Now if we specified RB, that means if we specified RB, then we can calculate MB. So we obtain balancing mass MB, and similarly from this line, from horizontal line, from E, we can obtain a theta B. So my dear friends, this is the graphical method. I hope you understand the both method, analytical method and graphical method. Thank you.